Hello, my name is Azure Kayaks. Welcome to my channel, Stories from Azure Kayaks. Today we're going to be reading Dragoons The Awakening, Chapter 5. With that said, let us get started. Chapter 5. Were those mushrooms hallucinogenic? Start. Drako, having finally relaxed after all these trials, following Wenry's blood trail, thinking Wenry's dead, trying to get revenge, failing to get revenge, getting attacked by the wyvern hawk, running for his life, and getting trapped in a cave that will most likely get them both killed. Drako falls asleep holding Wenry. Some time passes. Drako wakes up from water dripping on his face. Ugh. Drako groans and rolls over. Drako, feeling a bit rested, takes another look around the cave. Nothing, Drako says. The front of the cave is blocked. There's no light other than these weird mushrooms. The cave is cold and damp, and there is an underwater river, Drako says to himself. Drako thinks to himself, there's no wind. We might run out of air in a day or two. We could also starve to death if we do have air. We're good on water. The river just keeps rushing in and rushing in. And rushing in. Where is it going? Where is it coming from? That's our way out, Drako exclaims loudly. Drako gets up and goes over to the underground river. Drako looks in and sees it's pretty deep. Drako thinks to himself, the water has to be going somewhere. The cave isn't filling up with water. Drako looks at where the river is rushing out from. Drako thinks to himself, I can't go up with this level of current. Wait, I can't swim. Drako puts his hands in the water and feels the strength and coldness of the river current. Drako thinks to himself, I can't swim, but maybe I don't have to? At least not very well. The river current is pretty strong. It could help push me along, maybe? Drako goes to the cave wall where the river goes under. Drako thinks to himself, how long of a swim is this though? What if it's way too long? What if I drown? Or what if the current gets harder? Or what if there's jagged rocks at the end? Drako contemplates many different possible outcomes. Hey Wenry, I think we might be able to swim out of here, Drako yells out. There is no reply. Wenry! Drako runs over and checks on her. Her heart is still beating, but she's out cold. Shit. I can't take Wenry like this, but I can't just leave her. Drako talks to himself. Drako looks at the river. If it's too long of a swim, Wenry will drown, Drako thinks to himself. I'm sorry, Wenry. I'll come back for you as fast as I can, Drako says to the sleeping Wenry. Drako takes his shirt and puts it over Wenry as a blanket. Drako walks over to the river. I either die in this cave or die trying to leave it, Drako thinks to himself. Drako jumps in the river. The river current pushes Drako forward as he tries to swim. Right paddle, left paddle, right paddle, left paddle. Now that Drako's life is in danger, he is starting to get the hang of swimming. The river current pushes Drako more and more as he kinda swims. After a minute or two, Drako starts to feel himself running out of air. Drako looks around frantically for a spot that he could take a breather, but no avail. The river current keeps pushing Drako and he has to pay attention not to hit any walls. Drako's vision starts to get hazy. Damn it! This is where it ends? Cold, wet, and swimming in a dark underwater cave with only glowing mushrooms to guide my way? Drako thinks to himself as his body's stamina starts to reach its limit. Drako stops swimming little by little, and the current keeps pushing him. Drako's eyes start to close. His vision fades into the darkness. In Drako's head, as he fades to his death, I'm sorry. can be heard in Wenry's voice. A raging surge of power comes from Draco, waking him up. Draco's skin turns blue and scaly, and he gains gills on his neck, but none of this is noticed by Draco. He takes a couple breaths, regaining his composure. Wenry! I can't die here, I have to save you, Draco thinks to himself. Draco's swimming drastically increases. He swims deeper and deeper, turn after turn, as fish and crabs are left behind in his wake. A light is finally seen. There, I can see some light, Draco thinks to himself. Draco makes it out of the cave and surfaces, getting to the riverbed shore and climbing out of the river. As Draco lays there on the river's bed shore, his blue skin now slowly turning back to its normal color. I did it. I did it. I did it. I made it out. Draco says in a loud tone to himself. Draco smiles and continues to lay on his back and let his body's stamina regain itself. Looking around, Draco sees that the sun is setting and he starts to feel cold and wet. Draco rubs his arms together to gain a bit of warmth. Draco notices his arms are blue. Ah! What the fuck? Draco screams out, rolls over, squinting his eyes profusely. When Draco finally relaxes again and checks his arms, his entire body is normal. No blue skin, nothing else. Oh man, what the hell was that? Were those mushrooms hallucinogenic? Draco says, rubbing and examining his body all over. The sun sets and it becomes pitch black in the forest where Draco and the river shore is. Damn it, I can't see anything. If only I had another mushroom, Draco thinks to himself. Maybe one of them washed out of the cave? Draco thinks to himself. Draco walks over to the river shore and he sees a light green at the bottom of the river bed. Perfect. I'll go grab that and go. It should work as a reasonable light source, Draco thinks to himself, looking at the glowing light in the river. Draco jumps back into the river, swims down to the bottom, and grabs the glowing spot. What the? Draco thinks to himself as he grabs it. Draco surfaces out of the river. Draco gets out of the river. What is this? Draco thinks to himself. Draco's holding a glowing crystalline ore in his hand. Draco spends some time examining the crystalline ore. The ore shines. The color, the size, it's so odd, Draco thinks to himself. A couple more minutes go by, Draco examining the crystalline ore. Damn it! I don't have time for this! I have to save Wenry! Draco yells out. Draco starts running through the forest, using the crystalline ore as a light source. Here's a little song part. Song, Dark Forest, by Azure Kayaks. Verse 1. Dashing through the forest with one big glowing light. Will he make it, or will he die tonight? Through all the darkness, eyes stare and gleam, waiting for a mess up so they can go and feed. That's all you guys get. LOL. I'll post a full song at some point. Every story I make, I wanted to make a little song for it, and I think that'd be a little cool thing, just a little song per story. But anyway, back to the story. Draco runs back to the village, finding and then following a forest path he remembers to get there. Upon reaching the village, he goes directly to Wenry's house, almost slamming the door open to the house. Dropping the crystalline ore in the house hallway, Draco enters breathing heavily, unable to speak due to being out of breath. What the hell is wrong with you? Grandma says, coming out of her room confused at the loud sounds. Grandma lights a couple candles to see better what's going on. Draco tries to catch his breath as Grandma looks at him up and down. You have blood on your pants. Draco, Where's Wenry? Grandma says, scared. Draco falls to his knees. I'm sorry. Draco says, stuttering through his breaths. What happened? Grandma yells and rushes over and hugs Draco. Draco takes a second to reply as now he can see his pants with the candle's light stained in Wenry's blood. She was attacked. Draco stammers out. By what? Where is she? What's going on? Grandma says, letting go of Draco to get a better look at him. Draco stands up. A wyvern hawk moved into the forest, where we were getting our forest vegetables from. It got Wenry, Draco says, with his breath finally calming down. Grandma sits down. A tear goes down her face. Wenry's dead, isn't she? Grandma says with her hand on her face. Maybe not, Draco says. What do you mean, maybe not? Grandma says in anger and confusion. I had to leave her in a cave, Draco says. You left her again? After I told you to bring her back? Grandma says, standing up in a fury. You weren't fucking there! I had no choice! I had to do something! Draco stomps his foot and yells at Grandma, reasserting his dominance. Grandma stays quiet. Well, that is it for this part, guys. There's a bunch more, so I'm just gonna put it in a part 2. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. Thank you, my fellow Vokaijin. There's kayaks here. Appreciate it. But yes, thank you guys. Remember, if you guys like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to share with your friends. Yeah, I like telling these stories. I like talking, and it's pretty good. Anyway, that's it. Azuro Kayaks out. See you guys in the next video.